What's going on, guys? Wait for some people to show up here, and we'll get going. Welcome to the live, my live stream today. Here to talk about just AMC, talk about anything y'all want to talk about. I got a couple topics I want to bring up. I want to wait for maybe a few more people to join in. I'm just super excited to be here with you guys today. I don't know if you guys can see me well enough or what, but I'm hoping you can. Patrick McKercher, that's right, go Apes. It's a little sunny out here. I try to get the best view I could, so I'm gonna be leaning in to read you guys' comments a little bit every now and then. But in the meantime, let's just, why don't you guys shoot? We talked about it, guys. I'm having a cigar, right? I'm gonna have a drink. Just waiting for you guys to tell me which one I should choose. Let me know what you're drinking. There's about 6 of y'all on here right now, so let's get some choices going for my drink, okay? Ooh, whiskey, no ice. There you go. That's my style. So that's what I brought out here today. So should I start today with the E.H. Taylor? I stood in line for about 8 hours the other day to buy this bottle because you can't find it anywhere. Same thing goes with the Blantons. So these are my two. I bought these specifically for this live event. So I'm gonna let you guys choose which one should I drink, and we'll pour it up. Taylor, 100%. I like that. It is a great pour of whiskey. You're the first one to respond. So, Patrick says Taylor also. All right. What's going on, Billy? I think that's your name. I could be wrong, Bill, but hello, Vanessa. Hello, you guys. I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far, just enjoying you guys' time. Thank you guys for coming on here. I'm going to pour myself my first drink here, all right? And we'll get talking. Good morning, Shandy. Ladies and gentlemen, cheers. Goes down good. All right, guys, so who wants to Maker's Mark? Okay, that's a good drink of choice. I like using Maker's in an old fashioned. Anybody got any questions we want to talk about AMC? We want to just, what do you guys want to talk about? First time chatting, just wanted to say thanks. Hey, you bet, man. That's what I'm here for. Colorado game, Deion Sanders. I just got back from Colorado a couple weeks ago. The weather's beautiful. I don't watch college football, so I can't comment on that one. I know that Patrick M does. He watches, so he might be able to talk to you about football a little more than I can. But we'll go from there, guys. I don't know if you saw there was they put out a thing about the meeting in November, the annual share meeting that's going to be held in November, and it's there's a lot in it, you know. I saw one person comment on Bigham's post that he posted on Twitter today, asking if it's just another way to screw shareholders, right? Well, I saw specifically on one of the topics it's going to be a vote to basically remove the limitations of shareholders from initiating a meeting, right? So that's a good thing for shareholders. So I don't think that has anything to do with stifling shareholders anymore. That's not what it's about. And there's a lot of other things about compensation and about the board members being voted back in. So we'll dive into that a little bit more probably in a video next week when I have a little bit more time to go through it. I only saw a quick little snippet of it, but just reading the first couple lines of it, it doesn't look like it's negative. I know that there's some people that are anti Adam Aaron, some people that are for him. But we'll get into all that later. So first question, any ideas how much longer popcorn / hedgies can keep this up? Well, that's a tough question to answer. I don't think anybody knows, right? If you look back at 2021, the original run up to 72 or the original run up to 20 and then 72, some people thought that was it. Some people still think that was it. But even after the run up to 72, the sentiment just kept growing and growing and growing, and the community was just continuing to get going really, really hot and heavy as far as like wanting this to keep going, and that there was no doubt in anybody's mind that it was still going to squeeze, and that was just a gamma squeeze, right? Like we knew that there were like hundreds of thousands of call contracts in the money, and that's why it caused that gamma squeeze. Well, guys, shorts haven't covered. It hasn't happened yet, and we don't have to worry about it. So yes, I do think it's going to happen. I don't know how long it's going to take, and I'm not going to try to price anchor anything. Somebody actually asked that in a question in my video from yesterday, saying that, oh, they heard that it's going to squeeze in 2026. Well, I mean, it could take that long, but who knows what's going to happen? There's a lot going on in the global economy that could make that go faster. Who knows, right? Like one of the things that we've been waiting for a long time is a massive correction in the market, because it's well overdue for one. When that happens, that's when I think we're going to see the greatest probability for a squeeze. But I don't know that that's the only catalyst that's going to be out there. All right. Did AA honestly think, in your opinion, that the price after reverse split would be 30, or was he just trying to deceive us with all the 1 $10 bill and the same as 10 $1 bill stuff? I don't think that was just his way of like deceiving you. In theory, that's what it should have been, right? But he mentioned it, and we all know it. And if you don't know it, look it up. The market dictates what the prices are going to be, because as soon as things start trading is when people can start manipulating, right? So like I don't blame Adam Aaron or anything for what the price did as soon as it happened, because that's silly to do so, because he put the shares out there just on a date, and whatever happened up to that date, he doesn't control. Adam Aaron is not a market maker, and I think that's something that a lot of people need to remember. Who's the market maker that we've been against this whole time, right? It's Citadel, guys. Citadel is working against us. Citadel market maker, Citadel hedge fund, Citadel is one of the bigger ones out there that is like, that the manipulation is coming from them. Okay, there's a lot of other ones that manipulation is happening from, but guys, those are the people who are controlling what the price of the stock is doing right now. All right, we know that apes aren't selling, so they're obviously trading back and forth between each other. We know that, right? That's nothing new. I believe we're going to go up in the next few weeks, starting next week. Well, this last week was a positive week, right? We went up 16% this last week. So are we going to start seeing that run up? I think you're probably right. I think we're going to continue to see some upward movement. Like I mentioned in my video, that dilution, the sale of that 40 million shares is going to give some liquidity to allow some shares to be traded and allow that price action to actually start, coming to fruition. So we'll kind of see where that goes. Yes, thank you, Vanessa. Everybody hit the like button. I appreciate that. I do appreciate that, Vanessa. Thank you very much. Patrick says, do you think we have hit a bottom, or should start seeing a should start seeing a rebound? I think I think we might have hit a bottom. I think there's still a little bit of room for some downward movement, but I don't think it's going to go much lower than the low point that it hit over the last the last week and the week before. But again, with the amount of FUD and shills and the paid, all these people that are paid to make us look bad, you never know what they're going to do. They're going to try to scare you. I do think that we've probably hit close to bottom. But that's just my opinion. I don't know for sure, but I do feel that we're in the right direction. We'll kind of have to see what continues going on. I can't see your name, Landsfly. Thank you. I enjoy smoking a cigar and drinking whiskey any chance that I get. So being able to do it with you guys is even better, because you guys we're like an ape family, right? This is an awesome community to be part of. Good evening from the UK. Hello there, over the pond people joining in. Hey guys, hope you're having a good, what is it, Saturday evening over there for you. Let's see here. You're very welcome. Again, you're very welcome. So for those of you, if you're watching and you've never watched one of my videos today, or if you are watching a video and you haven't heard me say this, okay, my main reason for wanting to do this for you guys is that motivation, is that positivity. Because when I joined this play, when I got in this, the amount of positivity that was around just what it was that we were trying to achieve was just spectacular. It was such a large amount of positivity that was constantly being pushed out. And over time, the narrative got switched, because people thought that there was bad moves from the CEO, and I don't see it that way, and I truly 100% believe that the people that are doing that are paid actors that are trying to push this down and push him down in a negative way. I have said this before, I'll say it again. I don't think he's perfect. I think that there are things that he did that he probably wished that would have went different, or that he could have done different, right? Hindsight's 2020. We all know that. If you're in the stock market and you never thought to yourself, like, oh man, if I would have done this differently, I'd have had this much money, right? Like, my prime example of that is Dogecoin. I bought Dogecoin years ago, and I got bored with it, so I sold it. And had I kept it when it made its run up to 70 something cents, I'd have had like a $500,000, and I only put like $30 into it. So my hindsight kicked in there, right? It happens all the time, guys. We're human. Adam Aaron is human, and what he thought was a good move with Ape didn't necessarily turn out to be all that great. But I don't think that was the main hindrance. I think that the hedge funds and institutions took control. I really believe that. And then, just another thing, let's see, make sure I'm not missing anything here. Alcohol on trading, a bad combination. Now I understand why AMC and people like him are down 99%. Hey, okay. Regardless of that, I think that this is a Saturday, right? I'm already going against what I said. I wasn't going to comment on negative stuff, but hey, we're here. Let's talk. It doesn't matter. It's a Saturday. I'm not trading, drinking alcohol. I'm drinking a very nice pour of whiskey, smoking an awesome cigar, and talking to a lot of good people out there. So it is what it is. Thanks, Vanessa. I'll let him stay. We'll see what happens. Maybe the thing is I think everybody's entitled to their opinion. I've said that to a lot of times to people in the comment section. You're entitled to what you believe. That's the thing, right? Like, we all know it's our money, it's our investment. It's people that are constantly trying to tell you you're wrong that make me continue to think that we're right. Okay. There's no reason for anybody to care about what I'm doing with my money if it's not affecting their pocket, right? And we've said that for a long time. Why is it that the SEC sponsored that game show video that went out there, right? That the contestant chose meme stocks and he was wrong, and then the other, oh, I'm gonna research first. They tried to make us look like we're dumb because we're investing in meme stocks. Well, they pushed that out there for the world to see, like it hurt them. Okay. What did Ken Griffin say? There was an interview. Ken Griffin said that he's blaming retail investors for not capitulating, causing teachers' pension funds to go negative, guys. What happened in 2008? All right. What happened with at that point? They blamed teachers. They were blaming teachers at that point. Now they're blaming us for teacher stuff. They're flipping the narrative when it fits them. It is what it is. Man, I'll say it again. If we are wrong, how about they tell us what to invest into? There you go. Exactly, right? They're not telling you what to invest into. They're just telling you that we're wrong, right? They want you to sell your shares. I say this in almost every one of my videos, guys. They need your shares. They need your real shares, not the synthetics that they're trading between each other, not the stuff that we're seeing constantly being moved back and forth. They need your real shares because you still own the float. We as apes still own the float, and nothing has changed that, and nothing will change that until the day that MOAX happens, okay? And I don't know about you. I know there's a lot of people that are saying they're not going to invest in the market or they're not going to invest in AMC again. As soon as the MOAX hits and as soon as I get my money in my bank account, I am definitely buying back into AMC. I really like the company. All right, I really like the company. I think the concert thing could be really a good game changer. Absolutely, especially if the Taylor Swift concert is a success. Well, I think that it's safe to say the Taylor Swift concert is already a success, considering that the tickets sold out like almost instantly, and that now AMC has the right to then sell it the ability to watch it in other movie theaters, right? So that's a big part of it that not a lot of people talk about. It's not just in AMC theaters, but it's in theaters that AMC deems or is willing to sell them to also do it. The concerts could be awesome. I think that there's the possibility of the ESPN thing to show college football. It's postseason college football and regular season NFL. That could be huge, huge. Okay, amen. I know they need our shares. They screwed up not letting it run to 500. Now we know better, and a few zeros to that. Now add a few numbers to 0. Absolutely. Okay. I think, and this is something that I know that I've mentioned in a video probably a long time ago. Oh, I lost my light on my cigar, guys. They mentioned this. I mentioned this a long time ago. All right. The GameStop squeeze that ran up to, in the $500 range. There were a lot of people that saw that and they sold, right? All right. Number one, they took the buy button away, so people couldn't buy back in during the dips, which I don't ever think that that'll happen again. There's too much heat around that. Number one. Number two, we learned a lot from that. We learned that if we don't hit that sell button, that price number that price per share just keeps going up. It keeps going up, and it will stop when we decide it stops, not when they decide to stop paying us. Okay. At some point, I know that I mentioned this in my last video. At some point, a small hedge fund is going to need to get out, and they're going to get out at the, who knows what dollar price it is. I'm going to throw out some random number. So this is not a number that you should have in your mind. Okay. It's going to hit $50 per share. And some small hedge fund is going to say, great, I can afford this. I can afford to buy back the short position that I have. And then that pushes the price up even more. Right. And then there's going to be the trickle effect of other hedge funds. And that's going to keep it going. There was something put out a long time ago that says that like 50% of retail could sell their shares, and that we would still run up to some ungodly numbers, right? So I'm not worried about it. I'm definitely not worried that I'm not going to have the numbers that I wanted to have before the split. Still right now, okay? I've said it before. The dollar amount that it would cost to pay for all the shares is the exact same dollar amount. It's just a different price per share, right? If you had 100 shares, and this is back to that like $10 bills is the 10 $1 bills the same as one $10 bill. Okay, the amount of money that it costs, the amount of money that it would cost for somebody to sell 100 shares at $500 is the exact same as 10 times the amount of money divided, or 10 times the price per share divided by 10 times the number of shares, right? So 10 times 5,000 is the same as 500 times a 100 or whatever, right? Like, it's all the same. I think it would be awesome to watch NFL games on AMC as well. I think that would be fantastic. Um, all right. Vanessa says that she bought some shares this past week. They couldn't fill the whole order at one time and had to break it up. That definitely tells you a lot. And considering that Stonko Tracker right now is still showing that there's 5.7 million shares available to borrow, it lets that alone lets me know that the numbers on Ortex are being pushed down on purpose to make you think that they've covered, or that it's not as dire straits as it is for them. Because if they can't find the shares when Ortex is showing the utilization is at like what does it say here? Hold on, I'm pulling it up. It says 60%, just under 60% is what the utilization is right now. It doesn't make sense, right? Self-reported data versus what you're seeing in real life. What you see in real life 100% trumps whatever shows on Ortex any day of the week. Where am I at? Okay. Just wait until the other big artists, exactly. Other big artists are going to see what Taylor Swift makes, right? Like, all right, she just crushed it in her tour here, okay? Like, she made like $2 billion off that tour, and then is going to turn around and make a ton more money in AMC, and you're 100% right, because it's a video. It's not like she's putting on a concert. She's not putting on a concert that is being aired at AMC. It's a video of it, right? There's so much money to be made there. So much money to be made there. Another person from the UK, what is your thoughts on the proposals for the AGM? I feel dumb, maybe I don't. What does AGM stand for? Let me know, and I will talk to you about that. All right. They gave us too much time to learn and educate ourselves. Exactly. Bill says, I'd love to be able to watch it. Yep, there we go. Bought some shares. That popped back up. Okay. Ape Father. Hello, Ape Father. Welcome to AMC to Pluto, kid. AMC is definitely going to Pluto. I agree with you. I don't know if it's the real Ape Father. Let's see here. Detective Pikachu. Hello, my friend. We've chatted a few times this week. Let me know, Detective Pikachu, if you can hear me just fine. Let me know. I still haven't got a microphone yet, so just tell me what you think. 100%. Darren says, I've learned more about the stock market in the last 3 years. It's amazing. I've mentioned that in videos many times, guys. Take what you've learned so that when this happens, you have more money, you know what to do with it. You can start putting money into different places and keep going, right? Okay, there you go. Annual general meeting. So I talked about that right at the beginning of the video, that I want to read it better before I actually comment on it. I did see a few of the bullet points that I 100% think are good for retail investors, that they're good for us shareholders, and I'm gonna definitely dive more deep into a video next week. So bear with me while I do that, and forgive me for not just like answering it today. I only briefly saw it today. I had a birthday party to go to this morning, so I didn't have a full chance to like read through that when I saw it today. 500 million or 50 million FTDs in one day, August 23rd. Exactly. Where are they hiding them? What have they done with them? Guys, they didn't just disappear. We know that. All right. We've learned too much. I don't know how they got moved the annual meeting all the way to November. I thought it had to be 13 months max. So this isn't the annual meeting that's coming up, guys. The annual meeting is the one that happens typically in July. This is a different meeting. That there was a big thing about that. Somebody tried to sue him for pushing the meeting back into August. The annual meeting happened in August this year, not in July like it's supposed to. So remember that the meeting in November is basically just like the earnings meeting, I think, but there's a little bit more. And I could be wrong about that. I'm not 100. Could be wrong. New life, new wife. All right, Detective Pikachu. I bought 5x for $8 call for this next Friday. All right. Well, you're currently in the money, right? If you bought this next Friday, you're sitting in the money. So I think it's going to stay there. Some are saying yes to 1 through 4, no to 5, yes to 6. The others, what you think you should vote. Okay. Yeah, you're right. Probably another server like FTX. Could be. Could be. I'm gonna relight my cigar real quick. If you guys like cigars, so I got these from a cigar like subscription box. So I get 5 cigars every month, and some of these things are really awesome. Some of them are like very low price cigars, but they are really really good. And this E.H. Taylor is such a good drink of whiskey. I think we should really be careful about saying yes to 6. Ernest and Young does not have a good reputation. See, that's why I want to look at it more because I didn't even like I missed that one, so like I don't know. So let's you guys can continue talking about that. That's great. I'm good with that. But guys, what are some other questions you might have? So we're running on close to 30 minutes. I'm not sure, I don't know how long you all want to stay on here or not, but I'm down for probably another 15 to 30 minutes or so. But I want to respect your guys' weekend. It is the weekend. I appreciate y'all for coming out here and just hanging out with me today, right? Like that's what it was about. I wish there was a way that like we could get on some massive Zoom call to do this so that we could like see face to face sometimes, but I appreciate that you all want to look at my face. All right. I haven't really read it either. Bigham's covered it pretty well earlier. See, I saw him and that's cool. Like I'm glad that he covered it well because I thought he said, and maybe I just saw the Twitter post at the wrong time and he was going to talk about it today and maybe I saw his post from yesterday, but I only saw it today, so I haven't had a chance to look at it. So I'm going to look at it. I'm going to do my own thoughts about it, and I'll let you guys know in a video next week, and we'll go from there. There is a lot that we can learn just from reading, right? Like there's so much DD out there that we need to just be focused on and just keep reminding ourselves of. There's a lot that I think people forgot about, and that's what I try to remind people of all the time. You think we can remove AA? So I don't know if like we could, but I mentioned this in a video before too. Okay, and Darren asked, why would you want to do that? I don't. He said LOL at the end, so I don't know if he's being serious or not. I'm going to answer it in the way that I feel I want to answer that. Adam Aaron, I don't think he's done a bad job as a CEO. Okay, like I said earlier in the stream, he maybe made some mistakes. He maybe did some things that he didn't that he wish he could go back and do differently. But that's human error. He is a human. Okay, but he has done an amazing job at keeping the company afloat, especially during a time when COVID destroyed so many businesses. And a business that is like this, that carries this type of debt, right? Like all businesses carry debt. I said it the other day when I talked about the debt in a video that Amazon carries billions of dollars more debt than we do. Obviously, they make billions of dollars more also, but I read an article that says that we need to be paying attention to Amazon's debt because it's starting to get out of control. So there's a lot to be said about that. But what I take from it more than anything is that debt's not always a bad thing. But what Adam Aaron did by renegotiating a lot of the debt that we have to be paid back later at a discounted rate for less money, guys, that's a really good job. Okay, that's a really good job on the part of somebody who is trying to keep a company alive. We need to remember that Adam Aaron's job is to keep the company alive. In doing so, will help investors. Okay, in the grand scheme of things, a CEO keeping the company alive and keeping fundamentals going is more important to him. I'm gonna say this is probably more important to him in the long run than a short squeeze. That doesn't mean that I think he doesn't want a short squeeze, okay? Adam Aaron holds a whole ton of shares. He holds more shares than probably any of us, right? He has said that. A short squeeze would make his bottom dollar and his net worth look fantastic. So I don't think that that's the case. I think that that's a narrative that people are trying to push. If Adam Aaron wants to raise more money in the future, could he offer shares to retail only at perhaps a discounted price? So you got to think about it like this, guys. So for them to offer shares to retail only, there would have to be a way that retail could buy them directly from AMC, which there currently isn't a way to do that. That's why it goes through an organization that can feed it into the market, right? So the easiest way to do that is to sell it to institutions that will then sell it into the market. And that's why these institutions do make money on those transfers of shares, if you will. But it also helps to push the price point up because it creates instant buying pressure. Okay. 2020 is always better. You're right. Do things differently. Thank you, Vanessa. Darren. Okay. Soljo. I'm sorry if I messed that name up. I'm not trying to. I apologize. Darren, because he doesn't seem to be on our side. Okay, I already answered that. All companies operate on debt. Thank you, Darren. You're right. I said that. All right. Brett says, what are your thoughts on Ant's trades repeating fractal theory? I actually did a video kind of talking, like referencing him. I used one of his charts in my video. I think that it's super interesting. And when you look at what he's showing and where and how he breaks it down, it makes a lot of sense. And especially because he points it out that it happens throughout history, and he will show you that, right? He did a really good job at explaining that. So I didn't try in my video to like re-explain it. I tried to just show you what he showed you and then encourage you to go watch his video. It makes a lot of sense why that would happen. And when you look at the charts that he put up there, it looks exactly the same. So who knows what's going to happen with that? He even said it that things could change the time stamps on that stuff, but that it looks like it's going. So we'll see what happens from there. If I'd known AA as a crook, he'd have never gotten my money. Okay, does he still have your money? If you still own shares, you haven't gotten out. So what are you doing? Feels like AA rug pulled us. He said shares would be sold in chunks of 25 million from time to time, then goes to dilute 40 million right away. So actually, I think what he said is that they have 20 million shares that they are gonna sell from time to time, not chunks of 25 million from time to time. And then the 40 million, I believe, was part of that over allotment and the green shoe option that I did talk about in another video, so we can talk about that later. When Lambo, when it happens, okay? Darren says exactly my point. You can't say anything applied. I don't think that the CEO is committing market manipulation. I'll say that again. Bullish. Astros fractals are awesome. Brian Carpenter says, hey, brother. Hello, Brian. There is a gentleman, I haven't seen him on here, but in case you watch this later, his name is Adolf Navarro. Happy birthday, brother. Oh, Brian Carpenter is here. Okay. Hello, Brian. The charts are bullish. AF, overstocks, over old chart, and AMC new look damn near the same. Exactly. Okay. They're looking the same, and we know like history does repeat itself, right? In a lot of different ways, and the stock market is one of them. Detective Pikachu asked me how many shares I have. So this is funny, okay? Somebody asked me this in a comment, and I answered it. Another person commented on that comment and said that I don't owe you that number, right? I currently now own, now I just, I mean, this sounds dumb. I lost the amount of shares that I own. I'm at 105 shares that I own after the post-reverse split shares. So I don't own as many as some of you. I've been in this for a very long time, but like most of you know, Detective Pikachu, you said this to me the other day. I own a business. My money goes to my business. I make money on my own because I'm a business owner. I have a family to take care of, and I buy shares when I can, and I do what I say, and I only buy what I can afford to lose. Okay. It's still as easy as buy and hold. Ignore the FUD. Thank you, CJ. That's 100% correct. 100%. Yes. E.H. Taylor is a very good choice of whiskey. Guys, tell me what you're drinking too. I want to know what some of you guys are drinking, see if I've had it or if I can tell you. Well, what do you do, Ryan? What you do, Ryan, is the right way. Only put in this play what you're willing to go to zero. Thank you, Vanessa. I appreciate that, and that's 100%, right? I've said it from the beginning. I'm going to MOAS or zero, and if it goes to zero, I'm riding it all the way down. I don't think that's going to happen. I know I pretty much know that's not going to happen, so thank you. Patrick says, don't worry, he'll keep buying shares for me. Hey, thank you very much. Ooh, Pappy Van Winkle. Okay, that's a great one. I've had it. I think it's fantastic. I have not had a chance to purchase any because you can never find it. There is a Pappy Van Winkle event going to be happening in my area in the next like 6 months, I think. So I'll probably be getting in line for that one too. So I'm going to turn the question back around to Detective Pikachu and ask you how many shares you have and see if you're willing to post it the same as I did. Ooh, Eagle Rare is good. I almost bought a bottle of that the other day, but I chose the E.H. Taylor and the Blanton's as well. So I took that. Don't have any right now, but I usually drink Coors. Okay. Coors is good. I've drinking Coors plenty of times in my life. $2,800 shares. Nice. Yeah, I love Blanton's. Okay, thank you for sharing. Position got 515. Hey, awesome. Thank you. That's awesome. Ape, you're doing great, right? Like, you know that. You know that the amount of shares you have is what you want to have, right? And I think that's what I want to continue to drive the point across. Invest what you can. Don't invest more than you can afford. Don't invest more than you can go to zero with. Set a price point that you're willing to sell them for. And better than that is set a dollar amount, I think. In my mind, I'm setting a dollar amount that I would like to achieve with the amount of shares that I have. And I'm waiting until that happens. When MOAS happens, guys, it's not going to be this little, it's not going to be a little squeeze. Somebody commented the other day on one of my videos that he thinks this might be like a Tesla type squeeze where it just slowly runs up to a point. I don't think that's going to happen. There's too many naked shares out there in the market, right? I 100% believe there's still billions of synthetic shares in the market, and they have to cover all of them. They need to buy them all back. Telephone numbers are zero for me. Thank you, Darren. That's your life savings, okay? Well, good luck. I'm never gonna say a realistic I'm never gonna say what a price point is for MOAS. I've never said it. I never will. Thank you for asking, but I'm not gonna be that guy. Okay, there's too many of the other YouTubers that have come and gone, or there's one guy that he said price targets plenty of times. Okay, and then you know what he did? He took off his YouTube channel, took it down, restarted, and changed the narrative. He changed the narrative on what he felt. So like, I'm never gonna do that. I'm glad, Vanessa, you caught that. Thank you very much. The cigar that I'm enjoying today, it is a Perla PDM. It's a Perla Del Mar, and it's a Maduro. I love this style of cigar. There used to be a cigar shop around the street that sold what they called a naked Nicaraguan. There was no tag on it. There was nothing on it, but it was a Nicaraguan cigar. Nicaraguans are some of the best cigars I've ever smoked in, and I've smoked in a Cuban, and I think that the Nicaraguans are a lot better than that. Just my point. Thank you, Ryan. I appreciate it. I think that I think it's a pretty fantastic cigar as well. Been in this place since January 2021. Awesome. Hey, thank you, Detective Pikachu, for being in here that long. I was at the January 2021. I was in different stocks at the time. I hadn't seen anything about AMC. I was late to the game in that aspect. But as soon as everything happened, like I was watching it, and I watched it right after January, and then I got in there in the end of March of 2021, and I instantly just devoted all of my time all of my spare time went into learning more and more about what's going on with AMC. Again, like I said before, in case you're new to the stream right now, I was sick of seeing the negativity, so that's why I jumped in late to the YouTube game. But I wasn't trying to just oh, I want to do a YouTube so I can make money. I want to do a YouTube video channel so that I could help motivate and keep the positive spin on this, because I don't think that it's dead. It's not a dead play. You are definitely an OG ape, and I'm not far behind you. Okay, I'm definitely not far behind you, but I appreciate your time that you've put into this. So keep it up. Thank you, Detective Pikachu. My daughter would have a just a huge smile on her face if she knew that there was somebody named Detective Pikachu watching this video right now. You are the Ape Father's biggest haters, by the way. All right. I've watched like one of his videos, and I haven't watched any more of them. I just never felt like I wanted to watch more. And not for any reason, not for any real reason, just because I wasn't able to relate with them, so I don't even have enough to go on to tell you why. My business is going well. I sell cabinets. I do remodels in people's houses, helping with cabinetry. Business was booming for the last like 2.5 years. It's been awesome. It's been a little bit slow for the summer, but still plenty enough to keep us going. And then we got about 8 pretty big size kitchens that we're about to sell this week. So it's bouncing right back there. There's just little things that happen in the world that make people scared, or they don't want to do things in the summertime. So that always happens. Summer's slow. So we're about to be out of summer. It takes about 8 weeks for cabinets to come in. So by the time the cabinets arrive, the project's happening in really good weather in Phoenix. It's still like 105 degrees outside right now. I'm sitting outside on my balcony, and it's 105 degrees out here. So I'm sweating for you guys. People, it's silly. Like, it's 105. I'm drinking whiskey and smoking a cigar, right? But hey, I love you guys, and I wanted to do this. I wanted to have it be this kind of style because I think this is more fun. I do have a Twitter account. I hardly ever use it. To be honest with you, I don't even know what my name is on Twitter. Hold on. Ryan, what is it? Comcast? I don't know what you're seeing Comcast, if you're seeing it, or I think Comcast is a type of internet service. I don't know. Can I get a discount from your store if I buy it? I want a special AMC discount. We don't do any discounts. Our prices are already better than most people's. If you are an ape and you come to my store to buy cabinets, I'll probably work something out with you. I'm not an ex, aka formerly Twitter fan at all. Stephen S., I'm the same way. Like, I was never a fan of it. I started getting into Twitter for my business because I wanted to get my presence out there better for my business. And well, that should have been an easy one for me to remember. On Twitter, my handle is @RyanHodges1986. It's pretty much the same thing as my YouTube. So if you want to find me on X, I'm there. What day, month, and year did Comcast start? I don't know. I don't know why you're asking me about Comcast. You're an author and a speaker. Oh, that's awesome, Vanessa. What kind of speaking do you do, and what have you authored? What have you penned? I'm interested now. Bill, 105 is actually a pretty decent temperature, right? Like, I work outside a lot for my job, taking in cabinet deliveries, delivering cabinets, working outside at people's houses, doing all kinds of stuff. when it's 115, 120 degrees outside. I've done it for years. I was born and raised in Arizona. So 105 for me is actually a decent temperature. Okay. I it sounds silly, but I'm able to say that. All right, let's see here. She has Vanessa has 18 novels, speak on all things, but mostly made motivational. Awesome. Been published by traditional publishers like BET and Kensington. That's awesome. Well, congratulations on your career. That sounds awesome. It sounds like you have a lot of, hopefully you have a lot of fun doing it. And I will look up your name and check out the novels. My older daughter loves to read, so I don't know what kind of novels they are, but I'm gonna look them up and see if it's something she might want to read. Yep, acclimatize to it. Um, so my wife and I mentioned this in a video. I went to Colorado a couple weeks ago to do a cabinet installation, and the high there, I think the highest we hit was like 78 or like 81 or something like that. So it was beautiful weather. The night, as soon as the sun went down, it dropped down to like 40 degrees. And like I'm usually the one at my house that's hot at like 60 degrees, like or 60, like 68, 69. Like I think that's a very comfortable temperature for me. My whole family's always freezing, putting blankets on. I was cold as heck when I got there because my body went from like 110 to like 40 to 70, and it really shocked my body. And it was really strange for me because I love being cold. I am going to see Dumb Money on September 29th because that was the first day that I could buy a ticket for it in the theater by me. I missed the pre-screening that happened last Wednesday in my area, so I am going to 100% see it the day that I can see it here. So September 29th at the AMC by my house. And of course, once I see it, I'll probably talk about what I thought about it. Vanessa says she also worked at Home Depot. Okay, I'm there like 3 times a week. Supervisor, departments, kitchen and bath. Okay, so you kind of know what I do. Dumb Money 2 featuring AMC. I think that when it comes out, it'll probably be called something different, right? But I think there will probably be another one in the future. There has to be, right? Well, Detective Pikachu, thank you for saying that it was a great movie. I had no doubt about it. Also worked for a phone company. Man, Vanessa, that's awesome. You had quite the different careers. I was the same way. Like I started out. I worked at McDonald's when I was 15. Then I got a job at a pizza restaurant the day I turned 16. Worked there for a few years. I worked at a telephone company. I worked at Skateland. I've worked at a ton of different places. I worked for 8 years at a manufacturing plant. We made aerospace extrusions out of aluminum. Most of what we did held like airlines onto airplanes, but then we made some really cool things like mortar rounds, and we made upper receivers for AR-10s. We made the charging handles for AR-10s. We made Boeing small bomb wings. We did a lot of really cool stuff. So I have a pretty wide variety. I sold mortgages right before I got into the cabinet business, so I've done quite a bit as well. I like to know that I have options if something was to go south for me. Ryan, when we hit phone numbers, what's the plan? You still selling kitchens or running off into the sunset? So it's funny. It's funny because when we hit phone numbers, I will still have customers that are waiting for their cabinets. My 100% plan is to handle my business on that with AMC, even if that means I might have to shut my business down or tell my business partner that, hey, I'm not going to be in for the next who knows how long. And then once that happens, I'm going to fulfill my obligations because that's what anybody should do. I'm going to continue to help the customers that I've built the respect and the friendships with that I have, and probably not take on any new business. Or I'm going to find somebody that I know. I have a few friends that would die to own their own business, but not only own their own business, come into a successfully running business, and I may ask them if they would like to take over my business, so that I can continue, so that I can help to continue to help people. not have to sell it and go from there, right? So like I have a few different ideas. We'll kind of play that by ear when it comes. I don't know your temperature scale. Live in Sweden. Okay, so in Sweden, what 32 degrees Celsius is 100 degrees? Is that correct? 100 degrees Fahrenheit. So we're sitting right around like 37 degrees Celsius, I think. I don't know if that's 100% correct or not. Let's see here. In Canada skiing, and it was -50. Yeah, I agree that -50. Hopefully that was -50 Fahrenheit, not Celsius, because that would be like you're dead cold. Do you think? All right, George says, do you think Adam Aaron will dilute more or possibly delay and give us a reason to stay in the play? He seems to like lower prices. Yeah, I don't agree with that. I don't think that he likes lower prices. I think that's a narrative that's being pushed out. I think that being that he owns all these shares, right? So like when you think about somebody like an Elon Musk or a Jeff Bezos, that their wealth is, you know, in the hundreds of billions of dollars. They don't have that kind of cash, right? They've said it. They don't have that cash. They have that amount of stocks that equate to that much money. So if in fact Adam Aaron is all about just making money for himself, he would want the price to go up so that his net worth shows a lot higher than what the dollar amount is in his bank account. So I don't agree with that. Thank you, Vanessa, for pointing that out. I did mention that in a video, that the other two times that he diluted, right before January 21, right before June 21, there was dilution, which got us up to the amount of shares that it was, and then we stopped dilution from happening in July. But during those two sets of dilution, the price ran up to, at the time, all-time highs. Okay, so that did happen. You can't say it didn't because it's there. Lou versus Wall Street popped on. Hey kid, welcome aboard. Hello, Lou. If in fact you're the real Lou, I don't know if you are or not. When we MOAS, you need to spread your money out as banks will be falling. Yep, 100% like flies. I agree. So I think maybe one of the safest places to keep some of your money is in your brokerage account. That's just me. But then 100% spread it out. Spread it out to different banks, even if the banks don't fail. Like let's just pretend that for a moment the banks don't fail, which I know that they will. I agree with you. They're only going to insure your money up to a certain point, right? You can get up to insurance at each bank for $1 million because you can have 4 different accounts with them that are all FDI insured to $250,000, right? So keep that in mind. Spread your money out. That's a very good point. Thank you for bringing that up. I think it could be the real Lou. I think you might be right. If it is, hey, thanks for checking me out, Lou. Looks like you have a scammer who's pretending to be folks. It might be, and that's fine if it is. But you know, we'll see what happens. Who knows? Are you voting to give AMC raises? I haven't fully read it yet, and the way that what I did read, the way that I read it, it wasn't talking about giving everybody raises. So I'd be interested to see who they're trying to get raises for. There was some of the wording on there that talked about like if this happens then this, and if this happens then that. So I'm interested to see what happens there. I say sell AMC when at what price you go with, then dump into concrete stocks like Tesla, Apple, so on, and wait for the bank failures to finish, then take out your money. That might be a safe bet, but I think that if there's a big decline, if this happens, you're going to see a big decline, and some of those big stocks are also going to tank. So be careful with that. Again, it's your money, your investment. Just be careful. The 50 million failure to delivers that showed up, I think it's the same thing as always, guys. They don't have shares. They created all these naked shares. That's just more naked shares in the market. It's continuing to prove that we're right. It's 100% continuing to prove that we're right in what we're doing. Guys, I got about 5 more minutes, and then I got to go. Wait until market crash. Somebody gets diarrhea when they think about the market crashing. I like that. I like the way you put that. Joe, thank you. That's what I'm here for. All right. I'm here for the positivity. I'm here for the motivation. I'm not going to stop. It's not going to happen. I've said it plenty of times that if I'm wrong, if someday something happens and I'm wrong, I will own it. I will 100% own it. I just don't think I'm wrong. I don't think I'm wrong in the thought process that I have, and I'm going to continue to hold that same thought process all the way until zero. And I don't think it's going to hit zero, so I'm not worried about that happening. I 100% don't believe I'm going to have to apologize for the motivation that I'm putting out here. All right, guys. So in the last like 4 minutes, give me some ideas of what you want to see a video on. What is it that you're struggling with? What is it that you need motivation for revolving around AMC? I will make a video dedicated to you if that helps. I missed this. Is there a lot of calls in the money at $8 from Friday? So I got Ortex I got Stamco Tracker pulled up right here. This is just through Interactive Brokers, but it's showing that in the money calls hit 68,401 call in the money on Friday. So it's a decent amount. I mean, when you consider, the lower share count, right? That's a lot of contracts that were in the money. Not sure which broker to trust. I'm in Fidelity. I think Fidelity is a good one. I'm in Fidelity. I know that a lot of people are going to hate on me for this. I've showed it. Nobody said anything yet. I'm also in Webull. All right. I haven't had any problems with them. I don't do a lot of, I haven't bought in Webull in a long time, but I just also haven't transferred out of it. But I think Fidelity is a good one. From what I understand, Moomoo is a good one. That's not like a big bank one or like a bigger institution one. The only motivation I need is access to more money. I cannot help you there. I can't give you money, but I wish you the best in your endeavors, your work, whatever it is that you do, so that you can continue to buy. Detective Pikachu is in Robinhood since January 2021. All right. Good luck with Robinhood. Again, I 100% don't believe that anybody is going to be pulling that buy button away again. It would be stupid. They got proved wrong. I've called him out once. I'll call him out again. Ken Griffin, he lied under oath. I'm not afraid to say that on live YouTube. Ken Griffin lied. Ken Griffin is a scumbag. Okay. And the deals and the conversations that transpired between him and Vlad were proven. We saw the data. We saw the conversations, and that turned a lot of people away from Robinhood. PFOF turns people away from it. At some point down the road, it doesn't matter where you're at, a market maker is involved and they're making money on the buy and sell of your shares. So something, it kind of, there's two sides of each coin, I guess. That being said, I don't think that anybody's going to turn the buy button off again when it comes, because it would be stupid for them to do so. It would shut down a broker if they did that a second time. Guys, we got a minute and a half left. I am not quite done with my drink because I've been talking too much. My cigar's gone out 3 times, so still such a great pour. Vanessa, thank you. Yes, okay, thank you, Detective Pikachu. Go see it. I'm gonna go see it. I've already bought my ticket, so like I'm not gonna not go see it. Just like Embro95 said. He said, I hold for you. Well, I hold for all of you as well. I hold for everybody that has more shares and less shares than me. I continue to buy shares whenever I can. I know that you guys too. I talk to a lot of you on the comments, and I know y'all are buying shares. Guys, I'm going to end this the way that I end all my videos. And first, I'm going to say thank you all again for joining me on my first live stream. I appreciate it. I look forward to doing more of these with you. The temperature is just going to keep going down for me, so it's going to be a lot more comfortable. And I'm going to try to find a spot in my backyard that I have better internet connection, because I'm sitting right by my patio. But The sun has been beating in my eyes. I'm trying to cover that. But guys, thank you for joining me. Stay positive, stay motivated, stay motivating, and I'll see you guys later. Thanks. Bye.